Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, has been one of the most polarizing figures in modern American history. His tenure in the White House was marked by unprecedented controversy, scandal, and divisiveness that have left an indelible stain on the political landscape of the nation. Early life and business ventures. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York. As the fourth of 5 children of Fred Trump, a prominent real estate developer, Trump was born into a life of privilege and wealth. His upbringing in a wealthy family gave him advantages that few Americans enjoy. Yet he has often portrayed himself as a self-made man, a narrative that many argue is deeply misleading. Trump attended the New York Military Academy before going on to Fordham University and then transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Despite these prestigious educational institutions, Trump's academic prowess has been questioned, with reports suggesting that he may have been less than a stellar student. After graduating, Trump joined his father's real estate business. He rebranded the company as the Trump Organization, expanding its portfolio to include luxury hotels, casinos, and golf courses. However, Trump's business acumen has often been called into question. His ventures have frequently been marred by allegations of fraud, mismanagement, and unethical behavior. Trump's business career is littered with bankruptcies, 6 in total, demonstrating a pattern of financial irresponsibility and failure to deliver on his promises. Rise to political power. Trump's entry into politics was initially viewed with skepticism. He had flirted with the idea of running for office multiple times before finally announcing his candidacy for the presidency in June 2015. His campaign quickly became notorious for its inflammatory rhetoric, blatant lies, and divisive tactics. Trump's slogan, "Make America Great Again," was seen by many as a dog whistle to a nostalgic, exclusionary vision of America that marginalized minority groups. His campaign was marked by unprecedented levels of misinformation. Trump frequently made false claims, which fact-checkers struggled to keep up with. His approach to politics was to bulldoze through norms and facts, creating an atmosphere where truth became a casualty of his ambitions. The Trump administration. Trump's presidency was characterized by chaos, controversy, and a fundamental disregard for the norms and values that underpin American democracy. His administration was plagued by high turnover, with a revolving door of staff and advisors who either resigned in protest or were fired for failing to align with Trump's erratic and often vindictive style of leadership. Immigration policies. One of the most contentious aspects of Trump's presidency was his approach to immigration. He enacted a travel ban targeting several Muslim-majority countries, a policy widely condemned as discriminatory and unconstitutional. Trump also implemented a zero-tolerance policy at the U.S.-Mexico border, leading to the separation of thousands of children from their families. A humanitarian crisis that drew widespread condemnation both domestically and internationally. Relationship with the media. Trump's relationship with the media was adversarial from the start. He consistently attacked the press, labeling reputable news organizations as fake news and enemies of the people. This hostile stance undermined the free press, a cornerstone of democracy, and fostered an environment of distrust and division. Foreign policy. Trump's foreign policy was erratic and often counterproductive. He cozied up to autocratic leaders like Vladimir Putin of Russia and Kim Jong-un of North Korea, while alienating long-standing allies in Europe and Asia. His decision to withdraw the United States from the Paris Agreement on climate change and the Iran nuclear deal were seen as steps backward in global cooperation and diplomacy. Domestic policy and governance. Domestically, Trump's tax policies disproportionately benefited the wealthy and corporations, exacerbating income inequality. His administration rolled back numerous environmental regulations, undermining efforts to combat climate change. Trump's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic was widely criticized as inept and negligent. His downplaying of the virus, promotion of unproven treatments, and inconsistent messaging contributed to a higher death toll and greater economic disruption than might have been necessary. Impeachments and legal troubles. Trump is the only president in U.S. history to have been impeached twice. The first impeachment in 2019 was over his attempt to pressure Ukraine into investigating his political rival, Joe Biden. The second impeachment in 2021 followed the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, an event that Trump incited with his baseless claims of election fraud. Both impeachments resulted in acquittal by the Senate, but they underscored the deep ethical and legal breaches that define Trump's presidency. Beyond his time in office, Trump faces numerous legal challenges. Investigations into his business practices, allegations of sexual misconduct, and his role in the January 6th insurrection all pose serious threats to his post-presidential legacy. His actions have not only endangered the democratic process, but also set a dangerous precedent for future leaders. Legacy of division. Donald Trump's legacy is one of division and discord. His presidency deepened the partisan divide in America, pitting citizens against one another along lines of race, class, and ideology. His refusal to accept the results of the 2020 election and his relentless promotion of the false narrative that the election was stolen have eroded trust in the democratic process and incited violence. Trump's influence on the Republican Party has been profound, pushing it further to the right and entrenching a culture of conspiracy and denialism. His rhetoric and actions have emboldened white supremacist groups and contributed to a rise in hate crimes and domestic terrorism. Conclusion. Donald Trump's tenure as president was a period of unprecedented turmoil and regression for the United States. His disregard for truth, democratic norms, and basic human decency has left a lasting scar on the nation. While his supporters laud him as a champion of their values, the broader view of history is likely to judge his presidency harshly. Trump's legacy will be remembered not for making America great, but for dividing it and diminishing its standing in the world.